All right, so first of all, I do want to say a huge thank you to Terry Brax and the whole team that put this together. She is a great example of a true warrior. You know, she has built women tech founders focused like on a bigger mission than herself. And she is resilient every single day about it. That's a true warrior. And so being an entrepreneur is, it is something that you have to have a warrior mindset. You absolutely have to. You need to believe that you are powerful. You need to believe that you can change the world, okay? And you need to believe you can make a difference. And you can. You absolutely can. And what I'm going to talk about a little bit today is about where you can get some of that power and empowerment. Some of that comes from numbers and information. Numbers, I know that sounds really exciting, but I am going to talk about it. All right, and you're going to hear a lot from a lot of different entrepreneurs today about confidence and about building confidence. And I am going to talk about that a little bit too, in two ways. One is about building your own narrative, meaning knowing who you are, where you came from, and ultimately where you want to go, and articulate that every single day. And also, literally know your numbers. Know your numbers. Understand your industry, your department, your company, and be able to articulate some of those. And I'll tell you that that will build confidence. You do that over and over and over again. I actually want to start with one of my absolute favorite pictures, okay? This is meaningful to me on multiple levels. So who knows the Fearless Girl? Who's familiar? Yeah, I like that. Okay, I'm going to talk about it a little bit. So she is 4 feet tall. 4 feet tall, and she stands facing a 7,000-pound bull in New York City, downtown New York. And the bull itself actually was deposited in New York without permission back in 1989. I graduated college in 1990, and I know you're all going to do the math, and yes, I'm really, really old. But the bull was deposited there with representing American financial resilience and optimism. Now, the Fearless Girl was placed there last March 2017, right around the time of International Women's Day. And she represents a number of things. She represents power and leadership and everyday resilience. A true warrior. So over the years, a lot of people have taken pictures with the bull, right? But since March of last year, there has been an overabundance of pictures with the Fearless Girl. So much so that it's causing like traffic hazards because it's in this little strip area in New York. And so Blasio, last Thursday, Blasio's the mayor of New York, he announced that they're going to move the Fearless Girl, okay? They're going to move her, and he wants to actually keep the bull and the Fearless Girl together. But not everybody does, particularly the artist, and he's very open about it, not happy that the Fearless Girl was placed there to begin with, because it changed the meaning of what the bull was, right? So anyway, I'm with Blasio on this one. I want them together. The one thing I have to say, though, is she's going to a cool home. She's going to be facing the New York Stock Exchange. Now, the whereabouts of where the bull is going to end up is still to be determined. But what I love is last Thursday, the New York Stock Exchange, with open arms, welcomed the Fearless Girl and said in their press release that she is representing the journey of greater equality and broader inclusion and a more perfect union. I love that. That's brilliant. I think that's absolutely wonderful. But my interpretation and my addition to this statement is, look what that 4-foot girl did in just over a year. She will be facing not a 7,000-pound bull, but a behemoth, iconic institution, the largest stock exchange in the world. That's awesome. Okay, $21 trillion in market cap value of about 2,500 public companies. That's awesome. So it is the American institution, historically represented, really the heart of the financial services industry. And so, this picture is, again, very personal to me because, like I said, I graduated college in 1990, and this has sort of always been there. So I've been in and around the trading and brokerage industry for 28 years. I can almost say 3 decades. So, Jill, yes, I'm really old. I've been through like 25 mergers and acquisitions in my career, capital raises. But one other reason that I love this picture is because I have 3 lovely, athletic, just competitive, strong-willed girls, okay? And I want them to grow up feeling confident. I want them to see amazing opportunities all around them and take risks and feel like they can change the world. I really do. And I want them to be warriors. So when they fall or they fail, I want them to get back up because we all fall. We all fail at some point. And so they all play sports, and by choice, I don't make them, I promise. They try their best, and I want them to be bold. I want them to take risks. Playing sports, I think, is an awesome way to do that. And one of the things my husband and I say all the time, and so do their coaches, is just that, go into the game prepared. Then you can really enjoy it. If you're prepared for anything, you will enjoy it so much more. And so, talking about business, one of the best ways to go into a boardroom, or any meeting for that matter, is to be prepared. And so I'm going to tell you real quick, I'm going to talk about one of my daughters. The other 2 would be really mad. But I'm just going to talk about one of my daughters. They're 12, 15, and 18, and I'll try to make this story quick. They're all strong-willed. My middle daughter, her name is Sydney. And when she was 7, we went on a family ski vacation in Breckenridge, Colorado. And we put them into ski school all day. So we get them out of ski school towards the end of the day, and we're all going up the hill as a family. We get to the top of the hill, lining up all the kids, sort of thinking about our plan. And Sydney, who's 7 at the time, takes off, beeline, down the hill. And you know what she did? She goes like this, "So long, suckers." That's what I did too. We all laughed. And then, of course, the mom in me kicks in. Like, I should really go after her, right? I should try to protect her. And I didn't. I stopped myself. You know why? Because she was prepared. She was in ski school all day. She was confident. And I didn't want to crush that. It was such an amazing feeling. And so I'm going to fast forward 7 years. So she was 14, so this is last year. And she's 15 now, freshman in high school. And my oldest daughter was starting to look at colleges. So Sydney, 14, comes up to me and says, "Okay, Mom, so for spring break, you, me, we're going to Michigan. I want to see University of Michigan. I want to see Michigan State." And I thought, okay, I got to support this. I'm not going to say no. And so we go on the trip, and we see University of Michigan first. Lucky, we get to see a University of Michigan versus Penn State game, women's softball. So she loves softball. We watch this game, and these are powerful women, like incredible players, people that she wants to emulate. And it was really fun. She was intently watching the game. So we pack up our stuff, and the next day we go to Michigan State. And we're lucky enough to actually meet with the D1 women's softball coach. And she sits us down, and she goes, okay, I'm going to tell you. First of all, D1 softball players are crazy about softball. They eat, live, drink it, hang out only with softball players. And D1 parents, just crazy. Now, you two look fairly normal, she says. And I thought, oh, she just does not know us. And so then she turns to my daughter and she goes, you know, you're a little small. And I wanted as a parent to jump in and say, she's 14. But I didn't, because my daughter handled it fairly well herself. But I was looking for an opportunity to sort of tell her later, hey, don't ever let anybody tell you you're too small. Don't, just do what you want to do. But I didn't have to. We went home. She went to the gym every day, lifted weights, hit the ball in the backyard. And she really wasn't that small. She was like 10 pounds lighter than me and like maybe an inch or two shorter. So a year goes by, just over a year. She put on 15 pounds, all muscle, and she would kill me if she knew that I told you that she put on 15 pounds, okay? She's a freshman in high school. She would kill me. But she did this because she was determined. She wants to play college ball. She's only a freshman in high school, but she knows that part of her narrative. She knows what she wants to do, and she's going to go get it. And I loved that. She's a warrior. She's a warrior, and that's how I see her. She knows what she wants. And so a warrior does not go into battle, right, without being prepared. And so one of the things, so being prepared and being confident is really important. And so this is not a hashtag or anything after this. This is actually a number sign. If I were really cool, I would have done something cool with the hashtag and all that kind of stuff with Twitter, but I didn't. But the biggest message to you today is about being prepared for anything you want to do, anything you want to do well. And it's hard work. We all know that. Whether you're building a company or whether you're running a department or whether you're doing, no matter what you're doing, like embrace it and love it and enjoy it and be prepared because you'll get so much more out of it, right? But it is something that sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do, okay? Sometimes you actually, maybe have to do things you don't think you're good at. And a lot of times I hear, I'm not a numbers person, numbers are not for me, I'm not good at them. I'm going to make you like numbers before I leave the stage. I'm going to try. At least embrace a couple of them. So I'm going to shift to business because the power of numbers is incredible. And it can earn you a seat at the table, okay? I was a CFO at age 25, and that was young. I was still learning. I was later the CFO of a stock specialist firm on the Chicago Stock Exchange floor, and then the CFO of Thinkorswim, which is an online brokerage we sold to TD Ameritrade. And I learned over time how to craft the narrative or the story of the business. I could tell that story through the numbers. It was incredibly powerful because a CFO can tell you what's going on in the company, what's wrong, where problems are, what's good, what's working, what's not, and what's not actually sort of leads to opportunity to change or lead or be part of the strategic discussions, right? Like if you have to pivot or whatever it may be. And understanding the industry is also helpful. You sort of know a report card to check yourself against. So one of the things that I always say is numbers tell a story. And if you look at your cash alone, okay, your cash flow from operations is going to give you a pretty good indication of the health of your business. And revenue, you just have to know what drives revenue of the company. Again, doesn't matter. what position you sit in that company. You should know that. And it's something that I think is powerful, because then all of a sudden you start to look at things differently. It opens up, and you start to make decisions that actually help build that narrative. You become part of that. And then also, of course, like I talked about, the industry. Understanding the industry numbers. It's as easy as a quick Google and looking at a white paper. There's probably a white paper on your industry somewhere with a few numbers in there. Just pick a couple out. So what I want, you need to understand EBITDA. And a lot of people go, is that another language? No, kind of, an accounting language. But earnings before interest and tax and depreciation and amortization. But that's a number that a lot of companies get valued off of, multiples off of their EBITDA. And so looking at projections, where you want to go, understanding what some of those levers are and those key drivers and assumptions are. But what I'm going to say to you is creating a report card, a one-pager, okay? Maybe pick 10 numbers. A couple might be from your industry, a couple might be from your department, from your company, whatever it may be, and memorize them. One page, that's all I ask, okay? And every time you go into a meeting, bring at least one of those in your head so that you can contribute. Because if you can contribute and add value, you will be invited back to the table. That I promise. So it's interesting, because then when I became a CEO, the game changed a little bit for me, because I was incredibly confident, talk about numbers all day long. All of a sudden I had to talk about myself, and that was hard for me. And so it's something that I could tell numbers really well, but telling the narrative or my story, even though it's all there, and you think, well, I lived it, I should be able to talk about it. You have to pull it all together. You have to pull your facts together. The journey is amazing. Everybody's journey is amazing. You have something to tell. You have something to share, something interesting. But you have to pull it together. So being a CEO, I had to do some introspective work, ultimately, on crafting my own narrative and pulling my facts together to build it, and just how it all sort of fit together. And I realized more than anything that I am actually on stage every day as a leader. And each and every one of you are on stage every day. Whether you're running your company, okay? Whether you're talking to investors, whether you're trying to raise capital, whether you're talking to your employees, whether you're talking to your boss, whether you're talking to your peers, you are on stage every day. And so what you need to do, what my job is every day, is literally pulling together. There we go. So I need to inform, right, bringing your numbers to the table. So you need to inform, inspire, and ignite action. But it all starts with having a few numbers to do that. And so every meeting you go in, take that first step. Seek to inform, okay? And, like I said, you may be invited back. And so be the fearless girl, be bold, and no matter who you're facing, be prepared and be a warrior. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.